Hey, how's it going? Vladimir Donis here. So, hey, if you're listening to this on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, please go ahead and subscribe. There's going to be a subscribe button somewhere on this page, somewhere on the screen. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you're listening to this via my podcast, go ahead and like the podcast as well. Leave me a review, leave me a comment. I watch and listen to all of my comments. I respond to all of my comments, I should say. So leave me a comment. So, hey, today, the topic that I want to talk about today is I want to talk about, is it time to quit your MLM business? So essentially, I want to talk about two different things. I want to talk about duplication, and I also want to talk about formula. So I'm going to talk about those two different things, duplication and formula. So essentially, is it time for you to quit your MLM business? So the way that I discovered these two things that I want to talk to you about is I discovered this while I was teaching, my meetup via my local area. So usually when I teach specific topics, I kind of remember, who requested it, how it came about. But this specific topic was about local search engine optimization. So whereby you put in a keyword in your local area, if you're a local business, if you're a local brick and mortar business, your page will come up. I remember this was early on in my meetup. I had a brick and mortar business kind of just show up or come to my business. It was the first one. It was a local tax business. Up until that point, I had some affiliate marketing people. I had some work at home mom, but this time it was someone who had an actual brick and mortar business. It wasn't someone that was working from home. It was a brick and mortar business. This person had a tax service. So somehow we landed on the topic of local search engine optimization. So we landed on the topic of local search engine optimization, local SEO, and we were going to use her business as a training, essentially, to go ahead and implement some of those things from a local search engine optimization standpoint. I remember saying to the class, hey, we're going to teach this topic. We're going to teach it over, I want to say 4 sessions. Session number one went very well. I was excited. The individual, the business owner, she seemed to be excited. And also the people in the class seem to be excited as well, because here we are, we're applying some of the things that we're learning to a real business. We're looking at the competition, we're looking at what keywords to optimize, we're looking at all of these different things. So in my opinion, session 1 went very well. Now, session 2, which happened in a completely different, on a completely different day, session 2 seemed to have gone well as well. This person came back and we kind of just dove in a little bit more deeper and did some additional optimization stuff. So session 2, went well. So the people in the class, got some positive feedback. So things were going well. Now it was time for session 3. Session 3, she didn't show up. I was like, oh man, session 3, she didn't show up. So, what do I do? We've been talking about, local search engine optimization from her business standpoint. What do we do? I mean, I was tempted to just start using examples from my own business, which is a dating site. But I was like, you know what, that's going to kind of just create some inconsistency. Let me go ahead and continue the session with the local tax business, example, even though this person's not around. Okay, she didn't come, oh, well, let's continue the session. So we continue the sessions. So session 3, we did the session. And the session, in my opinion, still went well. But silently, though, I was saying to myself, okay, I am doing this session on a business that is not actually here. So I was still teaching it based on the tax business, but at night I was silently doing it on my business. I was silently doing it via my dating website. So I was still trying to do some local SEO, local search engine optimization stuff. I was like, you know what, hey, I'm teaching this stuff. I usually like to apply some of the things that I teach. So I was like, at night, I would do it based on my business. Session 4, we finished out the session. And, in my opinion, the individuals got value out of it. I don't know what happened to the person, the young lady that owned the tax business. She just stopped coming to the meetup. So, hey, the show must continue. So the thing is that some of the individuals in the class, even though they didn't have a brick and mortar business, they still seem to have gotten, value from it. So that session was over. I didn't have a need to continue to teach local search engine optimization, because from that point on, I don't recall having an axe for it. So we just kind of continued to continue teaching, continue talking about some other, marketing related stuff. But keep in mind, as I told you, I started to kind of just apply some of that stuff, in my business. So I applied the local search engine optimization stuff in my business. I probably took a couple of weeks to apply it, and I haven't gone back to it since. However, I followed a specific formula, and the reason I want to talk to you about this is because that formula is getting me, phone calls pretty much almost every night. Every night almost, I get phone calls from individuals looking for dating services. So, this is work that I did probably about a year ago, and still to today, people are calling me looking for dating services, right? So why does this matter? Why do I have this message here for you? Is because, to be honest with you, that's one of those things that keeps me going, so to speak. That's one of those things that keeps me going in this specific business, because, just like you, sometimes I want to quit. Sometimes I say to myself, you know what, hey, this is a whole bunch of baloney, man. I'm done. I'm going to quit. But when I get those phone calls kind of just remind me, you know what, the work that you did, over the span of a couple of weeks, it works. The formula does work. And the other question I ask myself is, from a duplication standpoint, can I duplicate it? So the formula that I apply from a local SEO standpoint, can I duplicate it to other businesses? Yes, other businesses, you can still duplicate, you can still apply the same formula to other businesses. So I think that's one of those things that when I kind of just transition and started focusing more on, working with local businesses and doing some of the other stuff, sometimes, yes, I do say to myself, you know what, this is not worth it. This isn't working. But the thing that keeps me going, believe it or not, are late night phone calls. I know it sounds weird, it sounds strange, but that's the thing, that's the thing that keeps me going. That keeps me going because now I can say to myself, I have proof essentially that it works. Because when I go back to my local SEO stuff and I look at it from an optimization standpoint, I look at some of the profiles that I created. I look to see how many people are clicking on the website link, how many people are clicking on the phone call link. I'm seeing that's where those phone calls are coming from, because you can see how many people click on the link for the phone call, and I match those phone calls with with some of the calls that I'm getting. So now I'm seeing that the formula works. So if you're thinking about quitting, it's probably because you haven't seen any success yet. So it's probably because you were working in one opportunity, that one opportunity didn't give you any success. Now this new opportunity, you're not getting any success based on this new opportunity as well. For me, I do have some glimmer of success. I do have some formula that I've used in the past. And because I see day in and day out that formula has worked in other businesses, it gives me hope. It tells me, you know what? Yeah, man, keep going. Don't quit yet. You can duplicate it. There's definitely an opportunity for you to duplicate whatever it is that you've done in the past. So it may not be time for you to quit yet, even though you may not see any success right away, even though, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Keep at it, keep going, so to speak. You just have to land on that right formula, and you have to find a formula that you can duplicate. Once you have those two things, you can kind of just see proof that things are working for you, then you'll be fine. I know sometimes you'll see proof in other people's businesses. Other people are showing you that, hey, they're having success here, success there, but that's not always enough, right? But for me, because I see the proof and I see that the formula has worked in my business, plus I continue to get these phone calls, I say, you know what? I can take that same formula and I can apply it to MLM, and I can apply it to so many other types of businesses. So the late night phone calls, even though, it's about, hey, can I get a dating coach? Can I get a dating person? Can you match me with the dating individual? Those keep me going because that's proof. That's a formula, right? And that's a formula that I can duplicate. So it's not quite time for you to quit yet. Keep going. You'll find that formula. You'll be able to duplicate it, and you'll be able to kind of just keep moving. Once again, one of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm offering an MLM 80/20 marketing system. That marketing system is going to essentially help you to implement marketing in your business. So it's MLM 80/20. You can go ahead and download. You can go ahead and access the free video series by clicking on the link. There's a link somewhere on this page that's going to allow you to access the MLM 80/20 video series. And essentially, it's a 5-day series. It's going to just walk you through, proven marketing formulas that you can implement into your business, so you can start to kind of just see some success. Again, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a subscribe button somewhere on this page. If you haven't liked if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, subscribe to the podcast. There's a subscribe button somewhere on this page as well. And hey, that is my time. Thank you for listening. And I'll talk to you next time. And remember, it's not time for you to quit yet. Keep going, keep moving. You can do it. Later.